I was reminded this morning that the power of mindset. Before I get into how powerful it is, though, and why it's so powerful, I just want to talk a little bit about the background of mindset. So, most of us live in more of a fixed mindset. We hold on to assumptions from the past, things that were true historically are true now and going to be true going forward. We make assumptions and judgments of what's going to be based upon what has been. It's a very normal behavior versus being in a more growth mindset, open to the possibilities, curious about what could be, knowing that just because something was doesn't mean it will be that way again in the future. Two very different ways of looking at life going forward. So, what's important about knowing the difference between these two mindsets? Well, growth mindset allows for the possibilities. It keeps us open-minded towards the future. It tells us that just because something was doesn't mean that something is going to be. And it allows for new things. It allows for creativity, curiosity, and opens new doors. When you look at things through a growth mindset and that open-minded lens versus a fixed mindset, you actually can change the future. If you live with a fixed mindset and live in judgment or fear based upon the past, so just because I always did it that way, one of my favorite phrases in the corporate world, it won't work because we tried it and it didn't work in the past, or because we've always done it that way. If you live in a fixed mindset that something won't work because we've tried it before, you're not open to the possibilities of how you could do something slightly different and it work. You usually shut down the options. But if you open up the possibilities to this can work, there's opportunity for it to work, and shift your mindset, you never know what can come versus what you thought wouldn't happen. So why am I saying this is so powerful? And why was I reminded of that this morning? I'm actually taking a parenting course right now, right? Wanting to improve. And one of the greatest things about this course is it knows that mindset is everything. And so they are teaching parents, which I love this because most people don't attack parenting that way. They talk about the tools and how you interact with your kids, but about the mindset shift you need to take place, about the fact that your kids can do things that they're not doing currently today if you prepare your mind that they can. But if you believe that they're going to act the same way they've always acted, then you're going to come at them with a mindset that limits them and they're not going to change their behavior. But if you believe they can and start imagining the way they could behave, right? The way they will behave and the way they will interact in a healthier, more fun, loving way, right? From the things that you're worried about or concerned about versus the pattern behaviors they've had of the past, then that opens up to the possibility that they can interact that way. But if you keep yourself fixed and closed to they've always done it that way, they're going to continue to do it that way and dread certain things, they're going to feel that energy off of you and they're not going to change. You have to change your mindset first for them to change, to be able to take those changes on. Why am I talking about parenting on a show about leadership and growth for us as humans? Because that's the same in your workplace. If you hold limiting beliefs about your team members and determine that they can't do something because they've not been able to before, or they're going to show up the same way tomorrow. They've always been late. They're going to show up late. They're going to, do this on a meeting because they always have. And yet you give them feedback to change, they're not likely to change. But if you believe they can change and you give them feedback on how to change, they're much more likely to change. So it's really important that as leaders, we come with the right open-minded mindset in interacting with our team members and other people we interact with to give them a chance to make the changes possible. Feedback alone won't do it. We have to believe that they can and have the right mindset in order for them really to actually be able to make the changes. So that's how parenting lessons can head to business lessons, and why a reminder this morning from a parenting course I think is unbelievably applicable to my viewers on leadership. Try to get out of your fixed mindset. Open your mind to all the possibilities of what could be based upon what could happen, not what has happened historically, and see where it gets you.